Hey, everybody. Thanks as always for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you come and hang out upstairs with us. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to turn back the clock just a little bit. Today, we're going to do an episode of the I Hate Mondays podcast show. That's right. Multicade Mondays will return next week with our full normal broadcast stuff, setup, all that stuff. But today I wanted to chill and chat. It's the holidays, and let's spend the holidays together. That's right. This is going to be a community stream, my friends. If you are a fellow content creator, a fellow viewer, we're all human. We're all the same. Do us a favor, join the show, and let me know what's going on, what's on your mind with this home arcades, especially as we approach. We're getting near the hot part of the summer. Lots of things are heating up. And man, there's a lot of stuff coming out. All right, before we do anything though, let's see who's here. Let's see who's in the live chat. We got Juan is here. What's up, Juan? Greg is here. Steven is here. Tony C is here. 19K Fox is going for 4 billion in Rampage. I'm sure he'll hit it. He's really good at that stuff. Ian, Quentin's here. Adam's here. Mitchell's here. Adam's here. Chris is here. Happy July 4th. Laramie is here. From Retro 530. Laramie, I need a light up button kit for my Dragon's Lair cabinet. Remind me, I got to place that order. Chris says we can't have community without unity. There you go. There you go. I put the link in the chat if there's any brave souls that would like to join the show. But while we wait for some brave souls to dial in, let's talk about a couple of things going on. So I want to give you guys a heads up. You only have a few hours left. We're talking just a few hours left. You could head over to ArcadeGraphics.com, and when you go to ArcadeGraphics.com, they're doing a big sale. Use coupon code SPARKLERS and you'll get 40% off your entire order. That's right, coupon code SPARKLERS from ArcadeGraphics.com. Tyler Goodman's always been a good friend of the channel. Definitely wanted to remind you guys that he's got this sale up. You don't want to miss it. If you are looking to get artwork for your Arcade1Ups, your AtGames, your iiRcade, he does it all. 40% off with coupon code SPARKLERS. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys, we have to understand as a community, these guys are not Amazon, they're not Walmart, they're not Best Buy. They don't have the capital to run these deals all the time anymore, especially like they used to when, pre-COVID, right? Their costs go up. They really can't do markdowns. So the fact that they're even doing a markdown is huge. It's exciting. Get your orders in, support arcade graphics, get yourself some graphics for your cabinets. Let's go ahead and take this off the screen right here. 40%. Hell yeah. Phenomenal deal. There you go. Chucky Shea is here. Sup, Dubs. Thanks, Chucky. Appreciate it. Kurt Mason, how's the Dragon's Lair cabinet been? So I did my review of the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet, and I got to tell you guys, I'm impressed. I mean, if you caught my review, you wouldn't need to ask me this question. Kurt definitely wouldn't watch that review. But then again, maybe you missed the review. I don't know. I just posted it yesterday. The review is doing really, really well. Nearly 5,000 views in 24 hours. Thanks so much, guys, for your support. I greatly appreciate it. And what's really cool is I really like the cabinet. And in my personal opinion, now we all have different opinions. We all have different opinions. I respect everyone's opinions. I hope people respect mine. And it's okay to agree to disagree. But in my opinion, it is the second best arcade cabinet that Arcade1Up has done so far. And I've owned nearly all of them. I mean, if you've been following this channel for 2.5 years, even before I started the channel, I was buying these Arcade1Ups. I've owned nearly every cabinet that they've released. And Star Wars is still my number one. It's still my number one. It's my go-to. It's the one that sets the standard. And that's because it's almost perfect in every way. Controls, screen, sound, artwork. The marquee was the only little thing because you could kind of see through it, right? You could kind of see the marquee because no product is perfect. You can see the little wire behind the marquee before they changed their light box design. Height of the cabinet with the bigger riser. The riser actually looked cool. That cabinet just like set the bar. It set the bar for me, right? And all the games were emulated great. They all played great. No concerns, etc. So Dragon's Lair, in my opinion, is number two. It's now number two. It's number two. Chucky Shea agrees. So, and I've reviewed a lot of Arcade1Up products on my channel, a lot of Arcade1Up products. And I think what people fail to realize is I sing their praises when they do well, just like any other company, but also I point out opportunities for improvement. That's the way I do reviews, right? And a lot of people, they get mad, especially the Arcade1Up super fans. They refuse to subscribe to the channel because the kind of review I gave Dragon's Lair, they expect that on every single cabinet. But I personally can't do that. I don't lie to my viewers. I don't shill for these companies. I simply tell you how I feel personally, right? And how I feel personally about Dragon's Lair is it's great. It's great. And I'll debate anyone about it if they want to debate about it, but I think it's a great product. I've given probably nearly 3 dozen Arcade1Up product reviews, and I think I've given positive reviews on about 2/3 of their products. That there's about 1/3 of their products I've given poor reviews on because I personally don't feel they're worth it. And I think that's my goal as a content creator on YouTube, is to say, hey, I don't like this one. And of course, I tell my viewers all the time, make sure you watch more than one review. You don't have to just watch mine, watch multiple and make an informed opinion. But I think some super fans forget that I've given more positive reviews than negative reviews. I think they only focus on the negative reviews and they're like, he's a hater. He didn't like MK30th. He's a hater. I didn't like MK30th because the cabinet was flawed, at least in my opinion, right? At least in my opinion. Kurt Mason, it's the details. Dan Z is here. Happy 4th of July. Mitchell B loves his Star Wars. Jerry says amen to that. Sir Sega's here. Transparency is extremely important. FOMO big time on the Dragon's Lair. FOMO big time on the Dragon's Lair. All right, very, very good. All right, guys. So also, we got some other great news, and this will appeal to a lot of my Multicade fan audiences out there, is that Rec Room Masters is coming back. So Rec Room Masters, COVID knocked them out of business. They shut their business down for a short period of time. These are awesome custom cabinet builders. What's great about these is the quality of the cabinets is superb, the quality of the control panels, as well as the controls that they include with your purchase. I'm talking, you get the real, hapsticks, real buttons. You're not getting like the cheap stuff off Amazon, etc. And of course, these are DIY cabinets, right? And I have one of these. I have that vertical extension cabinet out in my loft. and I love it. I love it. It's probably the best built product in my home arcade, right? Because it's just so good, right? It's so good. So what's exciting is they're coming back. We'll have to wait for more details and see, are they bringing back their entire lineup that they had before? Are they coming out with all new stuff, etc.? I'm excited to see this myself because I would highly recommend Rec Room Masters. Their customer service was amazing. The packaging was amazing. Keep in mind, this is more expensive stuff, right? Like, I think my vertical extension cabinet out there, just the cabinet, was 450 bucks. And then I had to buy a monitor. So I put a 32-inch monitor in there and I got a nice one. I got a nice monitor with a great refresh rate. I think the TV, God, how much was that TV? Almost 200 bucks. I got it on a sale or something. The controls and the joysticks were already in there, but then of course you have to supply. Well, how are you going to run this thing? You want to stick a PC in? You want to stick a Pi in? Do you want to go like old school, have a JAMA ready, right? Versus PC ready, right? So I have the PC ready one, so I could plug in a Pi or a PC, and I've had both plugged in over time. I've taken both in and out over time as I'm always tinkering, and it drives the costs up. Right now, this cabinet's nearly $700-800, but guess what? We're paying nearly $700-800 now for these home arcade products. So I guess it kind of makes sense, right? I guess it kind of makes sense. Let's see here. Sir Sega says Dragon's Lair is like the Big Lebowski. It really tied the room together. Yeah, it's a beautiful cabinet. Mitchell B's got his iArcade Gold Dragon's Lair coming. Greg Roberts says, I struggled with that one, but I got the iArcade on sale at Best Buy a couple weeks ago instead of the new ones. There you go. Oh, you're talking about the difference between the Gold Edition as well as the regular edition iArcade. Both are great products. You really can't complain about either. You really can't complain about either. Let me go ahead and put this link back in the chat. We don't have any brave souls yet. This is supposed to be a community show, guys. Don't be shy. Call in. Hang out with us. We'll talk home arcades. So a little bit of sad news around my homeland or home city, Chicago, with what happened today. I'm sure you all paid on the news. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Highland Park, Illinois. That suburb was not too far from the areas that I grew up in. So I saw plenty of my high school mates and friends on Facebook all marking themselves as safe and things like that. So happy to see that. But obviously what happened there is absolutely terrible. Did not need to happen on this July 4th. I really wasn't going to do a show tonight. Yes, you could show off your patriotic toes. I have a vomit bag ready, B-Kong. You could join in. I definitely wanted to talk to you a bit as well, if you have time, about your little the thing you got going on July 9th. Pete's here as well. Prayers for what happened in Illinois. I mean, that sucks. No business for that kind of stuff to be happening in the world this day and age. So also, where did it go? I have it here somewhere. Here it is. All right. You guys will be happy to hear this. So for the followers of my channel who like AtGames stuff, so I did a video a couple days ago saying, hey, the Legends Core Max firmware is coming out. And check this out, guys. You might need a hardware upgrade. And I needed one. Well, what is the hardware upgrade? The hardware upgrade is a whole new unit. That's right. So I got my whole new unit from AtGames. They were kind enough to send it very fast. Like I got it within a day or two of opening the ticket the other day. And this has the correct hardware inside the box here, where you can now download your pinball games and all that stuff onto the device. They all run natively, 1080p, 60 frames per second. No USB stick required. Now, what's interesting about all that is I went ahead and I've been playing with this afternoon. I got them up and running, and I got to say the pinball games look pretty incredible on here compared to what they look like on the other Legends Core, because on the other Legends Core, the smaller one, the versions of those games aren't the same games that run on the pinball machine itself, which I have in the back corner here off camera. So that kind of stinks, right? They're good versions, but they're not the same versions that run on the pinball machine. The pinball machine runs the best versions, and that's because it has different chips and whatever reasons they gave. But this thing has the same chipset in it as that pinball machine, right? So it can run the same versions of those pinball games as that machine. And now I got those up and running, and wow, they look pretty good. So yeah, I filmed a video for it. I just need to edit and post it. And because I was filming that video, I didn't have a chance to get Multicade Mondays ready, but I still wanted to pop on live, spend a bit of July 4th with everyone else. Hold on a minute. B, try calling back, man. I saw you pop in and then you disappeared. B Kong is about to join us, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he doesn't show off his toes. I missed him the first time he popped in. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll show off the pinball games. They look really good. I'm very impressed with how they look on this little console. That's pretty cool. What else is going on, guys? What else is going on in your 4th of July? How are you spending the holiday? As well as what do you want to talk about? Throw it in the live chat. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Yeah, B Kong is all over the place, but you know what? He's doing good work. I mean, he's really working hard to put up this community event and help promote this community event with Arcade1Up. I mean, we're talking some major deals on Arcade1Up products. I'm hearing 50% off cabinets. So, like, I made a video a long time ago and it upset a lot of people. And that was when X-Men came out, Arcade1Up X-Men. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going to spend, was it 6.99 for X-Men? How much is X-Men? Was it 6.99? And I wasn't like, I'm not a drama channel, so I didn't like make a video going, this sucks, this shit. Like, I made a video just saying, I don't think it's worth it. Like, they're not giving me enough value to spend that much money on the cabinet. But if it's $600 and you could get it for $300 and get like X-Men, that's actually it makes it kind of worth it, in my opinion, right? Like, what's it worth it to you? New tables I hear are still coming, but AtGames has not released any information whether or not there's going to be new pinball tables for the AtGames Legends pinball and when those are going to happen. Stranger Things is fantastic. I watched the final 2 episodes, 8 and 9. Those were amazing, and I cannot wait for season 5. I think X-Men Cab might be one of them. I wouldn't be surprised to see X-Men and Simpsons on sale. And if those are both around, $250, $300, I might actually pick up one of those cabs. Maybe both of them. I don't know. But I had no interest in buying either of those cabinets before this big sale. Sonic Fun says, loving all the positive buzz around Dragon's Lair. You know what? Arcade1Up was due for a win. Let's be honest. They've had a lot of cabinets come out recently, and they've had a lot of negative feedback on those cabinets, right? Whether it's bad issues with emulation, speaker gate, monitor gate, ledge gate, there's always something to complain about, right? When it comes to this Dragon's Lair cabinet, there are very, very few things to complain about. Very few things to complain about. When it comes to the audio being off, I guess the audio was off on the original arcade. And, other people have tinkered with the audio using Daphne emulators and things like that. And Arcade1Up is also using Daphne. And they've managed to get stuff kind of synced up a bit, but I guess that audio delay was always there. I've seen several people comment on my videos saying, hey, that delay was there the whole time. Oh, look who it is. 2 of my favorite people. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Mr. and Mrs. Kongs Are Us. Happy 4th of July, you two.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, Dubs and everybody. How's it going? Can you guys hear us okay?
Oh, can hear you great. You guys
All right,
sound great.
sounds good.
You look great.
I was trying to see if I can plug in the best toes in the whole wide world. Oh yeah. We got to do some patriotic toes. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you grabbing me for some toes? But just had to give you an obligatory toe shot because it's becoming a thing. But that's pretty much it.
I'll be honest.
Did you get any barbecue in?
Yeah, I gotta go. So it's early here. It's only 5:20, so I'm gonna go barbecue in a bit. I'm waiting for that sun to go down. It's 110 degrees outside in Arizona, so I don't want to be standing in front of the hot grill at the moment, right? So I'll be out there when I'm done with the show. But I will admit, it is nice seeing her toes versus your toes. I don't know why. There's a little bit of a difference there.
I need to go flip some hamburgers.
All right, we're gonna take off because she's flipping burgers. Anyways, just wanted to say hi and give you a toe shot. Have a good day, man. Take care.
Thanks for the toe shot. All right. These guys are hilarious. I love them. The cogs have arrived and the cogs are gone. Feet are gross. Any and all feet. Ha ha ha. There you go. Wolfados is here. One of my favorite. Hey, Wolf, you working on any Badass Sarah images? Let me know. If you are, we should talk. All right. Very, very cool. So where were we? What were we talking about? We were talking about Dragon's Lair, right? Let me pull some stuff up on the screen. So what do you guys think about Dragon's Lair now that some reviews have come out? Some of you own the cabinet. Are you guys excited about it? Or do you think this cabinet is garbage? I mean, I can't guys, I always try to dig and find opportunities for improvement, and I couldn't find very many when I reviewed this cabinet myself. I have a few images out. The 120 is probably the most well-rounded one. Batacera, that is okay. I'll go find it. I probably know where to find it. Nooner is so stuffed of food that the booze can't penetrate quite yet, but he's still trying. There you go. Michael B. I love Mondays. Michael B. will be live after me. In fact, if you stick around until the end of the show, my show will automatically redirect you to Michael B.'s show. Bones. If I like QuickTime games, I would buy Dragon's Lair in a second. There you go. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Hold on a minute, man. I really got to pay for YouTube Premium here. All right, we got those ads off there. I'm just going to kind of share my video here, and we'll just kind of talk over it with a new commentary. So I got to say, the marquee on this thing with the bent acrylic looks really, really good. Now, you don't even notice that the image is a little bit grainy until you get up to it. And again, that's another thing that people are saying that's how it was on the original arcade as well. So I guess, I guess it's not a bad thing. I did call it out in my review saying that I thought it was an opportunity for improvement. I mean, if it was like that on the original, maybe it's not an opportunity, but I still think like if there's one thing you could change and people would be okay with it would be having like a high res image there, like versus a grainy image. But really, you can't even tell until you're standing up close and next to this thing. So here you go, right here. Boom. Also, Joe Sabo has a topper coming out that's going to sit nice on this thing. He's going to have a nice topper coming out of the Dragon's Lair sword, or as close as he could get to it without violating any kind of copyright. So if you guys like, see how it's a little bit fuzzy, but really, you only notice it from further away in the room. It looks crisp and clean, right? You actually have to be like got your face up against this thing, and you'll see that you'll see it. You'll see it. Now, what's funny is, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, Joe Sabo. He's got a topper coming out that you'll be able to mount on this thing. And what's really cool is that topper will look great on the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair, or if you have the iiRcade Dragon's Lair Standard Edition, or if you have the iiRcade Gold Edition coming soon, Dragon's Lair. His topper to put on here is going to look good no matter what. It's going to look good no matter what. I'm pretty sure Blitz and Time Crisis are coming, and that's because the GameFly leaks haven't been wrong yet. They haven't been wrong yet. Not a single thing has been wrong on those GameFly leaks that came out earlier this year. So Blitz is coming, Time Crisis is coming. Maybe we'll hear more as they approach that Evo event. I have a feeling that we'll probably hear about it more here towards, who knows, maybe Labor Day, etc. Shouldn't be too much longer before we get like more cabinet announcements from Arcade1Up. Papa Brad, yeah, here's Papa Brad. He loves going to visit real arcades. He does a lot of great tour videos on his channel. Make sure you check him out. The original marquee is grainy. He watched his Waybacks footage and he did confirm it. There you go. Yep, marquee looks like the original, and that's okay. That's okay. But if they did clean it up and make it, cleaner, high res, I wouldn't have complained either way. It looks great either way. Shaq XL is a total bust. I would personally agree with this. Like, I have no interest in a Shaquille O'Neal NBA Jam cabinet, and if I already own the NBA Jam cabinet, I don't personally see a reason to sell mine off and upgrade to the new one because you really don't get much more with it, right? You really don't get enough with it to justify the swap. If you're brand new to Arcade1Up, maybe Shaq XL could be your first NBA Jam cabinet, etc. Chucky Shea says, PDubs, I think we will see Qbert soon, brother. So I got a question, and we need to get serious here, guys. We need to get serious here. All right. So I got a question for all of you guys, and you guys got to be honest with me. So I think that with the power of our community and voices, we can move mountains when we try. So here's my question, guys. If we start a petition for Arcade1Up to create Qbert and do it right. I'm talking we've got to have a knocker. They have to recreate the joystick, but also have a knocker in there. The joystick is key. If we can talk Arcade1Up into releasing a Qbert cabinet that maybe has, Qbert, Qbert cubes, maybe faster, harder Qbert. There's some other games that you could, like if you just look at like the J-Rock board, there's like what, 10, 12 games that take advantage of the diagonal joystick, like Crawl, um, the Three Stooges. There's some other games that they could potentially get on that cabinet, although odds are it might end up only being a 2 or 3 game cabinet. Would you guys sign the petition? If I started the petition, would you guys help me make Qbert a reality? You got to let me know in the live chat, guys. If you guys have no interest in Qbert and think I'm an idiot because I love the game so much, let me know in the live chat. Say no, P-Dubs, Qbert's a mistake. I personally feel we've always joked around about this on other streams. A couple years from now, Arcade1Up is going to be sitting around a coffee table going, "Where did we go wrong? What could have saved this company?" And them withholding Qbert is going to be the answer. They're going to look at each other and say, "Damn it, P-Dubs was right. We should have released Qbert." Now, here's the thing too, is whether they just do a small run, let's just say, I don't know, 3,000 cabinets. If they do a small run of 3,000 cabinets, because here's what's funny too, is people will sign a petition, but are they guaranteed to actually buy, right? People will sign a petition, but are they actually going to buy the cabinet, right? That's why petitions sometimes don't work, right? Like people speak with their voices and their pens and their signatures, but they don't really speak with their wallets. What if Arcade1Up did a Kickstarter for Qbert? Would you guys support it if they did a Kickstarter? I mean, that guarantees that, hey, you know what? Not only am I interested in this product coming out, but I'm also willing to put down some money to make this happen. The feedback I'm getting from Arcade1Up is they don't feel anyone's going to buy this cabinet. And although they have the license, they don't want to make it because they feel it's not going to sell, that no one's going to buy it. But I'm sure there are people out there like me who love Qbert and would love to have a 3/4 scale home arcade version of Qbert in their home. Because last time I tried buying the real thing, I spent $3,000, then had to get my money refunded, and it was this whole big ordeal, right? This whole big ordeal to get a real cabinet. So let me know, guys. So here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about starting a petition, but like the way the petition would work would be like, I think Arcade1Up should make Qbert. I think Arcade1Up should make Qbert. Plus, I would participate in a Kickstarter. Or no, I don't think Arcade1Up would whatchamacallit, make a Qbert. Maybe if we do that, right? Maybe if we let them know, right? I mean, the best thing for them to do is to make their own little Kickstarter and see if people want to do it, right? Jeffrey says he thinks Qbert will sell as much as Dragon's Lair. I hope so. They should do it like Hasbro Plus for limited runs. I agree. Michael B says he would buy a Qbert day one. That's my brother right there. Gregory says pass for me. Okay, I hear you. Mitchell B says Qbert needs to happen along with Robotron. Wolfenos thinks they're wrong. There's always room for one more cab. That's so true. Qbert, insta buy. I buy. Steven says sure. All right, I'll see what I can do. So keep an eye on the channels. If I start some kind of petition or something, if you guys sign it, if you're interested in it, do me a favor, share it like via social media and get other people to sign it, etc. Because this needs to happen. And of course, the only ones who have the license for it are Arcade1Up. So we have to go through Arcade1Up and get this to happen. Would 3,000 in Qbert work? I mean, I think that's like my goal. Like, I mean, let's do the math here. Let's say 3,000 times, 3,000 times, I don't know, $500 a cabinet. What's that get you? How much money is that, guys? I have the worst the worst basic math skills I got. Because I'm gonna end up putting in too many zeros. All right, hang on. So I think that would be a good chunk of money, right? So 3,000 times 15,000. Let's do the math. Is that 450,000? Wait, hold on. 3,000 times 500 cabinets. I'm sorry. 1.5 million. That's 1.5 million, and it might cost them what, 500,000 to make those cabinets, right? So that's $1 million in Arcade1Up's pocket. That's enough to feed John D and his kids during Christmas dinner, right? I heard chainsaws and toasters cabinets are releasing with the Qbert cabinets. Oh man, Goofy Foot, you're funny. iArcade should get Qbert. I mean, who? Yeah, I mean, Qbert should. That license should be everywhere. There's no reason that license should just be with one company. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm just guesstimating, right? I'm just guesstimating. But I mean, like, do I think 10,000 Qbert units would sell? Do you think 10,000 people would buy a Qbert cabinet? That would be nuts, right? That would be nuts. They could always give us the Saturday Supercade Qbert cartoons as a bonus feature to make up for the short games list. Oh, so you're talking like how on Terminator 2 they put the that movie, the behind the scenes movie as extra fluff, add the cartoons as extra fluff. That would be only be funny if like you had it as kind of like an attract mode running in your arcade. That would be kind of funny. I could see that. Yeah, 5,000. All right, so let's just say 5,000. 5,000 times $500 a cabinet, you're talking what, $2.5 million? So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Hopefully that's enough money for them to make it happen. Okay, maybe 3K was too small. All right. Well, either way, I think Qbert needs to happen. I would love to see it happen myself. Robotron should come before Qbert. Now, Al, what we're doing in here is we're trying to save Arcade1Up, right? And the only way to save Arcade1Up is to get Qbert. Qbert was in Wreck-It Ralph. Other than my daughter knowing I love the game, she got attached to Qbert in the movie. Kids are aware. Excellent point. Qbert has made appearances also in the Pixels movie not too long ago as well. Yeah, Qbert is around. Kids, I think, will identify with Qbert and they'll want to play those games. And they're, guys, it's just pyramid jumping puzzle games. I mean, kids will love playing that stuff. Let's see here. What else is going on? So Mortal Kombat 30th. I put that on the thumbnail and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that because I did a review for it. And let me find my thing here. And I'm sure a lot of you now have received your MK 30th. And I gotta say, you might notice that Dub Zero is wrong video. Dub Zero is on the leaderboards. I've got about 30 wins on Mortal Kombat 30th. So, like I told people, I'm better at Mortal Kombat than I am at Street Fighter, right? On Big Blue, I even took it out of my office. I got so mad at my skill level. Big Blue, I think I had like, 15 wins and like 150 losses. It's very depressing, right? Makes you not want to play the cabinet until you get good. But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I have 30 wins and 60 losses and much better win-loss percent. I'm basically winning 1 out of every 3 matches that I play online. So I've been pretty hyped about that. So if you guys have MK 30th, make sure you play. You have 2 out of 3 chance you'll beat me. You can challenge me, but don't forget I have a 1 out of 3 chance that I'll beat you, right? Based upon my current win-loss record and the skill level of the current players on the cabinet. I've played a lot of different people. It's not like I played 30 games against the same person. But here's what I can tell you about this product is you have to use the Ethernet. You have to plug this in with a wired connection. On Wi-Fi, there's a lot of users out there who let's be honest, some of them like they'll challenge me and it'll say they challenge and like you can hit the live button and you can see their internet connection and they might have 1 bar, 2 bars, and that's all they got, right? So a lot of times what I prefer to do is I play on my wired connection. That way, whatchamacallit, and because we're doing peer to peer, provided like I start the game, usually the games have been flawless on the LAN connection, right? Versus the Wi-Fi connection. Wi-Fi, sometimes you hear like the buzzing, like a beep, like during gameplay, or sometimes there's a freeze or there's an input delay. But with the wired connection, it runs really, really well. Just as good as Fightcade, in my opinion. Just as good as Fightcade, in my opinion. Chucky Shea is getting MK 30th from Best Buy. Ships around the 15th. There you go, Chucky. Are you gonna have room for all these cabinets, man? Chucky, you got a lot of Arcade1Ups, brother. Are you gonna have room for these? But yeah, MK30th. So I'm gonna keep it. Like I only gave this cabinet a 6 out of 10. Um, this cabinet definitely has a lot of opportunities for improvement with it. I'm gonna keep it for a bit until like the Mortal Kombat online fighting kind hype kind of dies down. And then after that, I don't know what I'll do. I might sell it to someone who will appreciate it more than me, or I might mod it, etc. down the road. But yeah, I'm going to keep it for a little bit. A lot of people were wondering what I was going to do with this cabinet because I did give it a below average review. Speaking of which, I love this. The fact that they got rid of the ledges. The ledges are pretty flat. That little ledge there is only about 2 millimeters. It's very very short. Jeffrey Witt just joined the Loft Army. Thanks so much for becoming a channel member. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it for right now because people are still just getting their cabinets. They're just starting to play online. So there's a lot of people to play, and it's getting more and more exciting, learning how to play and all that. But once the hype kind of dies down, where what's cool about Mortal Kombat is if I turn it on like after work, turn it on after work, there's people playing, and I can join their matches because it's new, right? Whenever something's new, people play it. When I whatchamacallit, when I start a match and nobody's online, usually within just a couple of minutes, somebody turns on their machine, sees that I have a match going, open invite, and they jump in and they challenge me. So I haven't had to wait for any matches, right? Versus the big blue lobbies really died down, like really died down. It was ghost town in there for a bit. So big blue, you could be waiting a while to get a match, right? But then again, depending on time of day, usually, as always, the weekends seem to be when people are off work because we're all grown men and we have time to play, right? Lobby system would have helped. Lobby system would have helped. That's for sure. MK30th is a pass for Sir Sega. Yes, it has an Ethernet port, and it's in the very center of the PCB on the bottom on the back of the cabinet, so you can plug in for a wired connection. Wouldn't it be great if these games could have crossplay with other platforms? A pipe dream, but it would be awesome. So what's interesting is iArcade does that. So iArcade, like their Riptide Renegade game, that their online gameplay on that game is through the developer itself, not through their online servers. So you're playing on your iArcade, but it has crossplay, so you can play other people who own Riptide Renegade on other devices. And I've done it before. It works great. No lag, no issues whatsoever. It was really cool. It would be cool if Arcade1Up could do that as well. But I don't know if they'll be able to. I think they're kind of going to be kind of like locked into their own system, whereas iArcade can get access through the developers because it's a totally different system, right? Where they could actually make that happen. So yeah. T Slayer says Best Buy pre-order. Need to know if I need a monitor upgrade. Well, that's going to be up to you. The monitor on this cabinet is poo-poo, right? Like let's go ahead and show you this. So, and it might not even be the monitor. It might be just the way the game is outputting to the monitor. It might be the way the monitor, well, it could be the way the monitor's lit. Maybe Arcade1Up didn't optimize these things better, etc. But, when I sit down in a stool, this is me sitting in a stool, the colors look great. The colors look great. I'm 5'11", and me sitting in a stool, an Arcade1Up stool, at normal Arcade1Up height. The colors look fantastic. Look at this. That's the way the game should look at all times, right? But when I stand up, you'll notice, look, the image kind of grayed out, right? I mean, take a look at the difference. It's not like we're imagining this, right? I've seen some reviews where some people were like, "There's no difference. These YouTubers are overhyping it." Look at the colors on this guy, and then watch what happens when I stand up. You can't. It's irrefutable. It's irrefutable when you stand up. Look at this. Everything is all grayed out. Look at this. This is what it looks like when I stand up and play this cabinet. And keep in mind, I didn't do any of that obnoxious ass. Like I see these people like, oh my God, look at the angle from way over here. Look, guys, we're not like doing the splits, playing our arcade cabinets from way over here. I understand people are trying to show off the angles of the monitor, but that doesn't really matter. This is the angle that matters. Let's go ahead and show you that right here. So, like, for instance, this is as far over as you need to go, right? Because if you're two people standing at this cabinet, this is as far over as I'm going to be, right? And as you can see, the monitor washes out. It doesn't look great. Is it playable? Yes. But does it look great? No. It sure as hell doesn't look like this, does it? It looks like this versus this. You tell me, am I making this up? I'm not making this up, right? So, standing up, it washes out. You can still play standing up. It just doesn't look as good. I like sitting down in a stool because I like look at how nice those colors look, right? That looks really, really good. It looks really, really good. So, whether or not you want to upgrade your monitor, man, that's going to be totally up to you. Me personally, I don't see the need to do it. I really don't. I'll just sit down and play. Why should I spend 20 to $100 to find a monitor, depending on where you get it. That extra monitor, you could find one lucky, that Dell 1707. You could find that cheap for 20 bucks somewhere, or you might end up having to pay 100 bucks for it online somewhere. Then you got to tear apart your whole cabinet, decase the monitor, put this thing in, put everything back together. You know what I mean? Like, is it worth all that? Is it worth all that? Well, only you can make that decision, right? But as long as it looks like this when I'm playing it, like, I guess I'm okay with it. I guess I'm okay with it. Same thing. It's the same thing with all the games, not just Mortal Kombat. They all kind of wash out. The monitor loses sitting down and then standing up. You know what I mean? It just loses its contrast. Boom, boom. Look at that. And that's the same for every game on the cabinet. Chucky Shea likes sitting in a stool, so he should be okay. Yeah. I mean, I it just seems like a pain in the ass to upgrade the monitor. Like, I really don't see the need to. And also, as like, we shouldn't have to be doing this, right? Like, we should have decent monitors out of the box. And I'm sure Arcade1Up should also dial in these monitors a little bit more, or maybe give us access to adjust brightness levels, contrast levels. That way, because we're all different heights and sizes and shapes, that way, as we kind of move around these cabinets, we could adjust it to like how it looks good to us. Because what looks good to me might not look good to you, especially if you're 6'3", right? There you go. An older game works well on an older type monitor. It looks great with scan lines. There you go. Ashley Bradley, we upgraded the Golden Tea cabinet. He won't buy another cabinet that requires a monitor update. There you go. Swing Machine 1707 isn't plug and play. You will need a power converter board. So I know on the Golden Tea mods, you could use the converter board that is on the back of the case of the monitor. So you don't need to buy a separate converter board. You could use the Arcade1Up one to power your new monitor. Now, I haven't had any intention on upgrading MK30th monitor. So if you need this for him, I don't know. I haven't even looked into it. It just sounds like something that I have no interest in doing. I have other mods I want to do. I don't want to have to keep swapping out monitors on these cabinets, right? So, oh, speaking of which, so this is me sitting in the stool. This is me sitting in the stool and playing on player 2 controls, I think. Yeah, I think I'm on player 2 controls here. Yeah, I'm on player 2 controls here. So I'm on player 1 controls here. So what is this? I don't know what this is. This is me. This is the camera from stool height pointed like at an angle at the screen, as you can see right here. So, and I think this is an online match. Oh, I think this is that online match with me and Rob Kelsel. That's right. That's what this is. So as you can see, the monitor is kind of decent, starts to wash out in the top left corner. But there you go. There you go. Hopefully all that made sense. I mean, I hate harping on these monitors, man, but it's still a hot topic point, right? It's still a hot topic point. Endless One Up is here. We are all tall mofos. Are you really 6'4"? Endless One Up, I would swear you were like my height, like 6 feet, 5'11". Are you really 6'4"? That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't wait to meet some of you guys in person and seeing how tall you guys actually are. Greg is 6'3". Geez, what am I? The midget of the home arcade community at 5'11" and 3/4, almost 6 foot tall. Nooner or Sir Sega is 6'5". Nooner's 6'4". God, you guys all tower over me. Yeah, riser extension. Like you might need a riser for your riser. Arcade Insanity. 1707 requires a converter board. You can use the one that comes with the driver board that everyone gets the mod. It's that board that no one ever uses from the kit. Yes. Yes, but what I'm saying is that on the other cabinet, like the Golden Tee mod, you didn't need to use the one that came with the kit. You could use the Arcade1Up one that was built into the monitor itself. So, but you're saying that you have to use this converter board. You can't use the Arcade1Up one that I'm sure is on the back of the monitor. There you go. Wolfenose is only 5'11". Jeffrey Witt, 6'4". Sonic Fun, 6'3". So speaking of meeting people in person, guys, I'll have to start mentioning this. So back in March, I booked a booth. I booked a table at the Game On Expo this coming August, August 5th through 7th at the Phoenix Convention Center. So I booked a little table to do meet and greets and to pimp out the YouTube channel a little bit. Plus, I want to be able to check out the show and experience the show and all that kinds of stuff. But while I'm there, I might as well kill two birds with one stone, right? Kind of pimp out the channel a little bit. So if you guys are going to be in Phoenix in August at the Game On Expo, I will be there, which is really, really cool. First time I've ever tried doing something like this. Hopefully I won't be like, if you guys are fans of the Super Game Room dudes, we did a skit where Michael B went to one of these shows and we set up a table and we had Michael B make a sign on a poster board that said Michael B, YouTube superstar. And the whole point of the skit was nobody came to see him, right? He was sitting there and we like had crickets playing and like he was just by himself and no one came to visit him. It was just a joke for the show. So hopefully that won't happen with me. Hopefully some people will actually swing by and check out the channel and all that stuff. I've never done anything like this before. Hopefully it's a good experience. If it's a bad experience, I'll never do it again. If it's a good experience, I'll really like it. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see Qbert there. So I'm going to do giveaways. I got new merch and stuff. I got new swag that I'll be revealing at the expo and giving away to people. Like, hey, thanks for swinging by. Here's the thing. Subscribe to the channel. All that stuff. Yes, Zohar, exactly. MK screen is not that bad. Sitting down and looking at it head on, it's very nice. That's exactly what I said. I sit in a stool and it looks just fine. So yeah, there you go. People will stop by, do a raffle. There you go. I'm hoping I'm bringing Arcade1Up. What is it called? Not Arcade1Up. I'm hoping I'm bringing a couple of arcades with me. Like say, hey, these are the kind of products I cover, and I might have something there. Like I might bring an iiRcade. I might bring an Arcade1Up. The AtGames machines are too big. That way people can like play them and see the kind of products that I cover on this channel. There you go. Coming out to the East Coast in 2023. Yeah, I think next year I definitely want to travel and visit more cons as the world continues to get and events as it gets back to normal. 19K Fox hit 4 million on Rampage. Good job, Fox. Way to go, man. That's awesome. I'll message him later. But you can't sit down and play Golden Tee 3D. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Golden Tee 3D, you have to stand up. You can't sit in a stool. It looks more washed out, but that's because the monitor is slanted differently, and also it's at a different height than the Mortal Kombat cabinet as well. So it's a different monitor and different brand. It's a 19-inch monitor. This one's a 17. Different model number, I should say. Same brand, different model number. Okay, let's see right here. The real smile bit. So he knows a lot about this stuff. So older monitors use CCFL lamps, have to get inverter board to power lamps, like the 1707 panel. If you find a monitor that uses LED lights, then can probably use the existing inverter board in a 1-up. Okay, there you go. Some people should take a screenshot there when they're researching what replacement monitors they want to purchase if they want to do a monitor swap. I honestly don't think it's worth it because this Mortal Kombat cabinet, like I said earlier, is it one that I plan on keeping forever? Probably not, because I did give it a 6 out of 10. I'm going to play with it until the Mortal Kombat lobbies kind of, start dissipating and I'm not having fun anymore and it's harder to find people to play. But for right now, I'm going to keep it for now. There you go. Ryan Garber, I learned something at the Hangout. Yeah, there's yep. Endless 1-up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of swapping monitors. Yep. I mean, it's just, you can do it. It's just, Like, do it if you plan on, like, I want to keep this cabinet for a long time. You know what I mean? So there you go. Endless One Up says he ordered Dragon's Lair to replace my arcade. Let's talk about that. That's a really good talking point because I noticed a couple people when I did my Dragon's Lair review, they said that they were going to get rid of their they're going to sell their iArcade for to get the Arcade1Up one. But my question but what about all the other games? Like, if you own an iArcade that's got Dragon's Lair artwork, and let's say you bought a bunch of games on their system, like you're losing all those games too. Like, why? What is the point? Like, why would you sell one to get the other one? You know what I'm saying? Like, explain that to me, guys. Like, if you bought, let's just say, 30 games on your iArcade, you're going to lose all those games too, on top of the cabinet, right? So I'm trying to understand that. I think there's room for both. Oh, okay. So you just gave it to your mom. No, so you didn't really get rid of it. You still have access to it, and you're gonna play it more than your mom plays it. Let's see here. Have I played the other games online much? So the only co-op games I've played so far are the Mortal. No, yes, I did Tubin. I played Tubin with Kongs R Us, and we had a blast. So that was a lot of fun. So Tubin is co-player going down the MK30th. Tubin is co-player. So Kongs R Us and I played that. That was a lot of fun. I think Gauntlet you can do multiplayer. I forget which other one you can do multiplayer, but a lot of the other games are just leaderboards only. There's only a few games besides the Mortal Kombat ones that you could do co-op play. So far, the only one I did was Tubin. That sounds like a terrible idea. I would never sell my iArcade to buy a single one-up cap. I'm just trying to understand why. So here's my thing is, if you own the iArcade and you never bought games and you're not going to lose anything, I can understand you're like, hey, I'd rather have the Arcade1Up version, right? And you sell off your iArcade, help use it to pay for the Arcade1Up one. But I think a lot of iArcade owners, you've bought a lot of games. So you're going to be getting rid of all those games too that you paid for to buy an Arcade1Up that only has 3 games. I think there's room for both. I think there's room for both is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Dominic, we talked about doing a survey saying should like Arcade1Up do just make this game, trust that it'll sell and release it, or would you join a Kickstarter to help make them release it? Like, hey, people aren't just saying they'll buy it. Like, here's the money; they're actually buying it today. Like, we could do that. So yeah, I mean, I think there's room for both. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's room for both. So right here, Ryan Garber says he has 2 iArcades, one Dragon's Lair. Wait, one Dragon's Lair and a Dragon's Lair? Maybe sell my Dragon's Lair arcade. Well, if you have 2 iArcades that are both Dragon's Lair, yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So there you go. Yeah, I just want people to explain it to me, right? So for instance, let me tell you my plan here. All right. So here's my plan. And of course, this is all just for, the channel and stuff is I have currently in my house, if you're new to the show, I have the iArcade Dragon's Lair back there. Beautiful cabinet. Love the cabinet. And then I also have the iArcade Retromania wrestling cabinet out there. Now, what I did was to kind of justify having 2 iArcades. One of them they sent me for review. The other one, that iArcade I paid for, the Dragon's Lair. I was part of the Kickstarter. That's the one I got. The Retromania wrestling cabinet, iArcade sent to me to do a product review on, and I got to keep the cabinet, which was nice. But the way to say I'm going to have 2 iArcades in my home, what I did was is on this iArcade, because it's Dragon's Lair, it's retro themed artwork. I have all the retro themed games. Like every time I purchase a game, if it's a retro game like Elevator Action, Rastan Saga, etc., all those games are on this cabinet. But since Retromania Wrestling is more of a modern game, modern console game, that cabinet out there, all the games I have out there, like Retromania Wrestling, Mayhem Brawler, White Knight, what's that vertical scrolling shooter? Start with an R. Can't remember what it is. Rising Hell, like all those games I have on that one out there. So it kind of feels like they're 2 different machines, 2 different products. That's what I kind of did by having 2. Now I'm getting our iArcade Space Invaders because I want to have the newer version of the cabinet. So what'll end up happening is that one's going to go here, and I'm going to be getting rid of iArcade Dragon's Lair, but I'm replacing it with another iArcade. That iArcade Dragon's Lair, I'm going to end up, I think, doing a giveaway and give it to a viewer. So there you go. So hopefully that all makes sense. That's what I'm doing. Like the only reason why I'm getting rid of that is because I'm going to be replacing it with the newer one. Do you ever play your one-up pinball? So my one-up pinball's out in the loft, and it's currently in the middle of a mod. So once I finish the mod, I'll be playing it again. But once I did the hack, the pinner hacks, well, then I played the machine a lot more than I used to. Because if it wasn't for the pinner hacks, I probably still wouldn't have the arcade one-up pinball machine, right? Like, I have the Legends pinball, and I can play all the arcade one-up pinball games on that, plus a ton more via VPX, Future Pinball, etc. All right, let me see what else I missed here. I know we're jumping all over the place, but this is a community stream, not an actual show. So we can go over here. Dragon's Lair has very limited replayability. Something to keep in mind if you're stuck. That's why I said in my review too, like, if you're not a huge fan of Dragon's Lair and the nostalgia for the looks of that cabinet and playing the original arcade versions of that cabinet, once you get bored of that, you're kind of stuck with it. At least with the iArcade, yeah, you're getting the console versions of those games or modified console versions of the Dragon's Lair games, but you have access to play hundreds of other games in case if you get bored of the cabinet, right? So that's why I said that in my review, like just to make a point to viewers, like just giving you guys more information to help you make decisions. Mitchell B says he has 50 games on his iArcade, so it would be crazy to sell it for an Arcade1Up. There you go. Let's see here. Jeff says he's happy with his iArcade. Yeah, it's all opinion, Endless. It's all opinion. I just wanted you to know why people were doing it. I just want to hear the opinions. What is going to be worth more down the road, an iArcade or an Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair? Arcade1Up will be worth more. I think that if you wanted to look at this at like an investment opportunity, I'm sure some people bought Dragon's Lair and they're going to keep them in the boxes and they're probably going to sell them for like $1,000 in 6 months when nobody can find the Dragon's Lair cabinet. That's also why I mentioned in my review, if you're interested in it, get it now before some dude is scalping it for $1,000 down the road. And I might even be that dude. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think Dragon's Lair, Star Wars, and Burger Time are like the three cabinets that I can see because they're limited. They haven't really re-released Star Wars yet, so it's still limited because they're so limited and so desired that it could actually hold its resale value for a bit. Keep in mind, guys, these aren't like huge collector items. These aren't real arcades. But just look at the community when they're like, "Hey, I just bought Star Wars and I spent, I've seen people. I spent $900 on eBay to get my hands on Arcade1Up Star Wars." When it comes to the Burger Time cabinet, I've seen the Burger Time cabinets. They're still selling for like $600-700 because some later additions to the Arcade1Up community, new people to the community that are just discovering Arcade1Up are desperately looking for those cabinets. And I think Dragon's Lair is one of those that, yeah, it might sell for $900 to $1,000 very soon, very soon. So yeah, when it comes to Tron, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge Tron lover, hence I don't have Tron here. So yeah. Endless is always making moves. So yeah, there you go. Has any cab gone up in value? Yes, the three that we talked about. Burger Time, Star Wars have gone up in value, and I think Dragon's Lair will as well because they're only making a select number of them. And as people join the Arcade1Up community, they discover it somehow, some way, and they're like, "Man, it'd be cool if they had Dragon's Lair." Oh wait, they did have Dragon's Lair. I see it on their website. Oh, they made it last year. I just got my first Arcade1Up this year. I'm gonna go on eBay. Dragon's Lair, $900. You know what I mean? Like, I totally see that happening. I totally see that happening. I'm glad you liked my review. Not a good investment. You know what I'm saying, Papa Brad. Don't nitpick every word that I'm saying. I'm just saying that out of all the every cabinet I've sold, I've had to sell at a loss, except for the Burger Time I made money on, and any modded cabinet I made money on. I've never sold an Arcade1Up for like a profit stock. You know what I mean? Modded ones, yeah, you're like, look, I did all the work for you. You got to pay for this, you know? I'm not going to give you a modded Arcade1Up with 20,000 games on it, an Angel Otero marquee, and all this other shit, and give you to for $100. Hey, $100, I'll come pick it up today. Oh my god, selling on Facebook Messenger is the worst, right? Or Facebook, $100 pick up today. Dude, it's listed for 500. Why is it so expensive? Because I did all the work for you. This isn't a stock machine, idiot. Yeah, so I've always had, but machines I've sold stock, I've always sold at a loss, right? I've always sold at a loss. The only ones I sold for a prof, even Burger Time was modded. Yeah, that's right. Even Burger Time was modded. It had all new sticks and buttons and artwork on the kick plate and stuff. I made a profit off of that one. And then of course all my modded Arcade1Ups I've made a profit. But if like Final Fight and these other cabinets that I sold stock, like I didn't make money off of them. But what I'm saying is there's two cabinets that you could sell and actually make a money on, and that's Star Wars and Burger Time. Papa Brad, I think, is getting hung up on what I'm saying. I don't think he understands it. That's okay, my brother. Converting a WrestleFest mod with boss panel for Fightcade, had a pie, and didn't get much play. Oh, that sounds cool. Let's see here. There you go. I love the quality of my iRcade machine, and online is getting better. I'd never sell mine. There you go, Polo. Speaking of which, Hollywood Polo has become my Ninja Turtles buddy. Him and I, so late at night, I'll pick up my Valve Steam Deck and I'll go to play Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And when I go to play Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, like laying down here, Hollywood Polo's online. And we always send each other friends requests and we play Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. I think Polo, we've spent about the last 4 or 5, 6 nights together, my friend. My wife is starting to get a little suspicious. So, you know, don't pick April, because if she says, who you playing with? If I say April O'Neil, she might get jealous. She might get all jealous. I love the Punisher arcade game. Absolutely love it. It's one of the best beat 'em ups of all time. Love the Punisher game. So you got Burger Time for 400. Let me tell you something, man. Down here, I see listings for 500, 600, and they sell that high, 700, etc. There you go. Oh, wait, crap. Look at the time. We're bleeding into Michael B. Okay, let me give you guys a couple quick updates. And don't forget, when my show ends, it'll automatically redirect you over to my good friend, Michael B. the Game Genie, if you're a fan of his channel and his Chill and Chat podcast show. So a couple quick updates. So be on the lookout. Probably tomorrow, I'll have my Legends Core Max video. On Tuesday, I'll have a Steam Deck video. On Wednesday, I should have another Steam Deck video. I think I finally got these things edited and they're ready to publish. So if you like the Valve Steam Deck, I'm going to have a lot of content for that coming soon on the channel. Also, when it comes to Batocera and also Retrobat, I got videos coming out for those on the channel. Also, if you like FPGA stuff, I got this really cool FPGA thing mod that I have coming out on the channel too as well. So lots of cool stuff coming up soon in the pipeline. Hope you guys will appreciate those videos and support them and check them out when they go live. And then of course we'll always mix in the Arcade1Up, iiRcade, AtGames stuff as that stuff pops on. Do me a favor, guys, and make sure you give us a thumbs up on the way out. That thumbs up is so important. If you watch this on replay, make sure you leave us your comments, feedback, whatever you want to say, reactions below, all that kinds of jazz. And one more thing, guys, may you guys all have a wonderful and safe, and hopefully you had a wonderful, safe, happy 4th of July weekend. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Go watch Michael B. I'm going to send you over there right now. You don't need to do anything. It's going to send you automatically. Tell him PDubs sent you, and it's a raid from the Loft. You guys have a great day, man. Thanks so much for your support.